Hello everyone and welcome to the Kiki London YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and in today's video we're going to be doing a Capricorn Zodiac set of nails. Now these were a lot of fun to do, so I really hope you all enjoy watching. I had a lot of inspiration for this set. Mainly the Pastel Zodiac water decals inspired me to do some Zodiac nails, but I also see one of the Kiki London ambassadors called Now Gems use these water decals this week, and it reminded me that I haven't yet used them, so I really wanted to use them. And then last week I did pastel galaxy nails, and that really sort of inspired me to want to do some Zodiac nails. So I thought, whilst all the inspiration was fresh in my head, we were going to do some Zodiac nails. And as I said, they were a lot of fun to do. We're going to be doing a lot of gel polish nail art, and then we're going to finish off with stamping with the Kiki London foils. So I really hope you enjoy all the techniques. If you have any questions, then do pop me a comment below and I'll be happy to help. To start off with though, we're going to apply the gorgeous vanilla latte to 3 of the nails. We're going to cure this for 30 seconds and then we're going to come in and apply the second coat of colour. Now of course, if you were doing this set on yourself or a client, you would need to do all your prep and base coat first, but because we're working on display tips, I'm coming straight in with the colour. Keeping my coats nice and thin, I applied my first coat of colour super thin, so I like to come in with a slightly thicker second coat of colour. And as you can see, it's such a gorgeous shade. I love this shade for any kind of base for nail art because it's nice and bright like a white, so things like decals and foils pop, but then it's just beautiful and a little bit nicer sometimes than a standard white. Then we're going to take our colours. So I have Paradise Red, Apricot Blush and Violet Vamp. So these are not wintry colours in the slightest, but when I was looking at the Pastel Zodiac decals, I felt as though these colours would have worked best with them. And on the first nail, we're going to be doing an ombre using all of those colours. So of course, I'm going to be using my trusty ombre brush. If you struggle with ombres and you don't have the ombre brush, I highly recommend it. So let's talk through the steps. I've come in and I've applied the vanilla latte to halfway down the nail. I want the fade to mainly, the colours of the fade to mainly be at the tip of the nail. So I've took the vanilla latte halfway down the nail. Then we've come in with our 3 colours. I'm giving my ombre brush just a little clean on one of the Kiki London alcohol wipes just to make sure there's no remaining colour from the last time I used it on there. And then we're going to start blending these colours together. So I'm starting off with the vanilla latte and the apricot blush, just going right down the middle where those 2 colours meet and blending them together. The ombre brush makes this effortless. I have sped the video up a little bit, but I'm being quite gentle with my strokes. I'm just taking that backwards and forwards. And then I'm going to clean up my brush and go in to the next colour. So here we're going to blend the Apricot Blush and the Paradise Red together. Now I always find 99% of the Kiki London colours blend together effortlessly. A lot of the colours have that creamy consistency to them, and I find those shades blend a lot easier. Now as you can see here, I'm not having any problems blending any of these colours together. I'm simply going backwards and forwards with my ombre brush, straight down where those 2 colours meet, taking each shade into the other one, and then it just blends effortlessly. Your first coat on an ombre is never going to look perfect, so don't stress too much about getting the blend perfect on the first coat. We can perfect it on the second coat, which is exactly what we're going to do here. So I'm going to do those same steps all over again. So we're applying the vanilla latte, then the apricot blush, then Paradise Red, and then the Violet Vamp, making sure that all the colours do touch, but just be careful that you don't contaminate your brush with the previous colour. So then I'm going to clean off my brush and go straight in with blending them together. So when you're blending them together, you want to start off by blending out that harsh line where the 2 colours meet, and then this creates a transitional shade, and then you want to take that transitional shade into each of the colours. Now sometimes people can be a bit daunted by doing a multicolour ombre because you're blending a lot more colours, but it's actually, in my opinion, a little bit easier because you haven't got to blend too much because you're moving on to the next color and automatically blending that one in, if that makes sense. So don't ever be put off by doing a multicolored ombre because it's very, very simple, especially when you've got the right tools. The ombre brush made my ombre game go up a level because it just makes it effortless. As you can see here, all I'm literally doing is going backwards and forwards with that brush, cleaning it off here and there so we don't contaminate the colors, And then once I'm happy with that blend, I'll leave it to sit for a few seconds before curing, and that will minimize the brush strokes. And then when you come in and top coat, any brush strokes that are remaining, the top coat will smooth that out anyway. So we're going to pop that now aside. We are going to do some foiled stamping on that now further along in the video, but we're going to move on to the second nail design for now. And this is where we're going to be using those pastel Zodiac water decals. So because it's the month of Capricorn, we're going to use the Capricorn symbols from this sheet. So as you can see, I'm cutting that out as close to the decal as possible and trying to cut it out as neat as possible as well, because it is a circle. So I've cut 2 of those out, and then I always like to apply my decals with the stamper method. So I'm going to apply both of those water decals to a jelly stamper, and then I'm just going to moisten the back of them with some room temperature water, really brushing that water in because it speeds up the process with removing the backing paper. Then I'm going to remove the backing paper on just one of the decals, press that one down, nice firm little wriggle from side to side, and it will stick down into the tacky inhibition layer of your gel polish easily. Then we're going to remove the backing paper from the second one and do exactly the same. And as you can see, using the jelly style method, it gives you such a seamless application. There's no creases or bubbles in these water decals at all. All I'm going to do is take my Kiki London Silicone Tool and just smooth over these just to make sure they are fully adhered into your cured gel polish. If you are using larger decals, sometimes you will find you'll still get some creases, but you can just ease these out with your silicone tool. Then we're going to do a little bit of hand painting just to finish off this design, because we're working on a longer nail, so I want to fill in some of that space. So I'm going to take Paradise Red and Violet Vamp, and I'm also going to take my striped liner brush. Again, just give it a little clean to begin with, and then we're going to go in with the Paradise Red. And I'm going to keep it simple because we've already got the decals on this nail and I don't want to draw too much attention away from them. But we're going to come in and we're going to do just some swells, not really swells, like cuticle cuffs, but just off one side. And then we're going to do this on the cuticle on one side and the tip on the other side. And I'm going to come in and do the same with the Violet Vamp as well, just because I wanted to add a pop of colour. And whilst we're talking about colours, I wanted to mention this. Paradise Red is such a gorgeous, kind of like a magenta pink shade. And it's actually the Pantone colour of the year for 2023. I think the actual Pantone name is something like Viva Magenta, I believe. I will have to double check. But yeah, it's very, very similar to Paradise Red. So I can see this being a very popular and trendy colour for 2023. So although we are in the winter months, I wanted to include it in this set just because I've got a feeling it's going to be a popular one, and it is actually a gorgeous shade. So if you don't have this one in your collection, I would definitely recommend it, especially seeing as we're coming up to Valentine's Day, and I always love the bright pinks for Valentine's. Obviously it's really nice to have a lot of the softer baby pinks, but the brighter pinks are beautiful for Valentine's Day. And then this colour is definitely a must-have for summer nails as well. Now, whilst I was talking, I did flash cure the Paradise Red just so I don't smudge it when I come in with my Violet Vamp. So using the 10-second cure on the 96 watt Kiki London lamp, I've just flash cured it for 10 seconds. That's going to freeze that in place, allowing me to come in and apply my Violet Vamp. And then once I've applied that, I'm going to pop that in for a full cure. And as you can see, just added a little something extra to that nail. Moving on to the next nail, over our vanilla latte base, we're going to apply a layer of foil gel. So I'm just going to keep this nice and thin, making sure it covers the entire nail because we are going to be applying foils to the entire nail. Now, I get lots of questions from people who struggle with foils. So I wanted to say that if you are struggling with foils, go back to the basics with them and try these metallic foils. So these are the coloured metallic foils. And they're probably one of the foils I would recommend to beginners. You've got lots of colours, you've got some classic gold in there as well, but they are super, super easy to apply. So we're going to use these today to create kind of like a rough, bright, colourful effect. And all I'm literally doing is very lightly tapping these on to the cured foil gel. And as you can see, it creates a really kind of abstract textured effect, but I really like it and it's super, super easy to do. So literally just come in and lightly tap these on. You don't have to necessarily use more than one colour. You could just place one colour down, but for a more fun effect, you can come in with a couple of foils. And then once you've perfected the more basic foil designs, you'll find it a lot easier to use things like the patterned foils, because all it is getting to grips with how tacky the foil gel is and how hard you need to press and rub depending on the foil you're using, depending on the length of nail you're using, how curved the nail is, and things like that. So if you are struggling, I would highly recommend just take it back a few steps, get into the habit of applying your foil gel nice and thin, and practice with those metallic foils, because they are the easiest foils to apply. And once you perfect those, it gives you that little confidence boost that you've been able to do it, to then move on to the more harder to apply foils like the patterned ones. Anyway, on to the next design, we're going to be using the blooming gel. So I've applied a layer of the blooming gel, and with the blooming gel, you leave this wet, and then into that wet blooming gel, I'm going to dot on 3 of the colours. So all 3 of the colours that we've used throughout the set of nails. And what's going to happen is they're going to start blooming and dispersing. And again, this is a really easy design to do if you're not very confident with blooming gel, or if you're new to blooming gel, because as you can see, it's really, really simple. All you do is apply a nice thin yet even layer of blooming gel, and take your dotting tool and dot down your gel polish colours. And then the blooming gel is going to do the rest of the work for you. It's going to start blooming. Those colours are going to start melting into the blooming gel. They're going to start dispersing. And then it creates a really fun effect. So you can see here, they're starting to bloom and disperse. Some colours will bloom and disperse quicker than others. After a few seconds, this is what the nail looked like. And I thought it looked really, really funky. I loved it. So once you are happy with how much your design has bloomed, you can pop this in to cure for 30 seconds. And again, this now is going to be a base for some foiled stamping. So here's what our gel polish design looks like so far. Like I said, they're fun, they're funky. I really, really loved them. On these 2 nails, we're going to do some stamping with foils. Before we get to that part, you do need to come in and apply a layer of matte top coat. The reason we're applying this matte top coat is because we only want the foils to stick to where we're going to stamp. Now, like I said, the metallic foils are very, very easy to use. So sometimes they will stick down without any foil gel. So they'll stick to, say, your tacky top coats or your inhibition layer from your cured gel polish. So if you come in with a matte top coat first, you've got a super matte surface. They are only really going to stick to where you want them to stick. How gorgeous do these 2 nails look matte as well? If you watch the channel, you'll know I'm absolutely obsessed with a matte finish. So again, for the foil stamping, we're going to be using those coloured metallic foils, but this time we're going to be using the gold one. So I'm going to start off, I'm using sticky stamping polish, but this does also work with regular stamping polish just the same, to be honest. I've tried both ways. As you can see, I've applied my stamping polish, scraped, picked up my image exactly the same as you normally would when you stamp. I'm going to press that image down, and then really quickly, whilst your stamping polish is still wet, you're going to press your metallic foil on. And because they are so easy to apply, it just sticks to the stamping polish. And then just clean up any areas where you might have got a few little flaky foil pieces. And how gorgeous and easy was this to do? But I love the effect. I love the effect of foils. They're so fun to do. So to be able to do them with stamped images is really, really cool, I think, as well, because it gives off more of a textured, kind of like dimensional look to the nail. So we're going to clean off the plate, and then we're going to use this little star here. So I'm applying a generous amount of the stamping polish, working quite quickly because stamping polish does dry quickly. Scrape, pick up our image. I'm going to remove any excess image that I don't want on the nail, just using a lint roller. And then we're going to place our little star down exactly where we want it to go. And then coming straight in with that gold foil, giving it a good rub and then pulling off. You can come over it a couple of times if you've got any areas that it might not have stuck to fully. And then, like I said, because these foils are so easy to apply, you will always get a few little trails of foil stuck where you don't want it to go. So I'm just going to clean that off using a little bit of alcohol and my angled nail art brush. On to the blooming gel base, we're going to come in with a little moon. Like I said, I was going for a bit of a Zodiac design. So I wanted to come in and apply some stars and moons because I feel as though they're going to fit in perfectly with the whole zodiac effect. I couldn't find, well, I could, but there was lots of conflicting information on what colours suit Capricorns. So like I said at the start of the video, colour wise, I went with colours that worked for the water decals. But I think if I was doing these again, I would maybe go for a blue and gold effect because I see lots of those colours used for Capricorns as well. So once more, we're going to come in and do another little star down here in the corner. Let me know, by the way, guys, if you have tried stamping with foils. I love stamping. I love how well it works with gel polish designs, and I'm definitely enjoying trying out a few new stamping things. Recently, I did a chrome stamping with gel polish video up on the channel, so I'll leave that linked below as well, because in that video we was actually stamping with the Kiki London Black Heart gel polish and then coming over the top with a chrome, which was really fun to do. I was going to do that in today's video, funny enough, but then I thought, no, let's do the foils because we've already used foils in one of the other nails in the design, so it kind of ties everything together. And I loved the textured effect that you get from these metallic decals. So here's what our design looks like now it has finished. All that's left to do is come in and top coat. I'm going to top coat using the Kiki London No Wipe rubber top coat. I opted for this one because it is, in my opinion, the best top coat for over any kind of nail art. So your foils and your water decals, it seals everything in beautifully. But when you have done a design with blooming gel, sometimes it can feel a little bit uneven. So coming in with the rubber top coat smooths that out. You will see that it goes on and the nail looks a little bit uneven, but it self-levels. And then when I show you guys a clip of the finished result, the nails look super smooth. So of course the rubber top coat has all the benefits of strengthening and being great for clients who have weak or brittle nails, but it's a must have in my opinion for over your nail art designs as well. So we're just going to apply a thin layer of this to all of the nails. It does require a 60-second cure. So we're going to cure that for 60 seconds. And then this, guys, is the finished result. Do let me know in the comments below what you thought of this set. And if you are a Capricorn, happy Capricorn month. I hope you're all having a wonderful week and I'm wishing you all a lovely weekend. As always, I will leave all the products I've used linked in the description box below. So do check that out, as well as some recommended videos. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, please do give it a thumbs up and hit that subscription button if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. Lots of love. Take care. Bye bye.